Welcome everybody tonight. Let's go ahead and stand, and we're going to do the prayer and the pledge of allegiance of the flag.
Heavenly Father, as always, we thank you for your time today here. We thank you for this gathering of folks here of Talbot County. Father, please bless all of us leaders of the county. Bless us in wisdom to make choices that are embedded in your word and your best interest. Father, bless our students as they prepare to start to go back for school, whether they're here locally or they're traveling. Bless them in their journeys and life choices and endeavors. And just thank you for all your blessings that you bestow upon not just our county and our towns, but our state, our country, and our world. We ask all this, and we thank you in Jesus' most precious and holy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started on tonight's agenda. Council has had the agenda before them, and there's any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the agenda be accepted as unanimous consent. All right, next on the agenda is the minutes of July 8th and July 22nd. Council's had a chance to take a look at it. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes? Okay, council, all right, that's great. Hearing none, the chair moves that the minutes be accepted as unanimous consent. Next on the agenda is the disbursements of July 29th, August 5th, and August 12th. We've had a chance to take a look at those. Is there any deletions, additions, or corrections to disbursements? Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the disbursements be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay, first thing on the agenda tonight here is introduction of an amendment, administrative resolution establishing a senior citizens task force. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read that in the minutes, please?
You want me to read the entire administrative resolution?
I don't think you have to read the whole thing. Yep.
Amended administrative resolution establishing a senior citizens task force.
Okay. Okay, it's an introduction. We'll show of hands.
So introduced by council. And this amendment appears to follow the direction that we discussed at our workshop on this subject, simply opening this up, broadening it in addition to housing, transportation, and meals, also adding health care as a charge for the committee, and then opening up a number of additional positions on that as council requested in the workshop.
Okay.
You want to vote on it?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Haight? Aye.
Okay, so that will amend the administrative resolution. Do you want to bring that up for a vote now?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Haight? Aye.
Okay.
So that's established, and
Okay.
look forward to working with the folks
Okay.
that we'll be calling together for that. And thank you to Ms. Milky for
Thank you.
Yep.
spearheading this.
Good job. Okay, so we're a little early here for the public hearing, so Mr. Stamp, you want to go ahead and
Sure.
do your thing?
All right, council, good evening. Under county manager report this evening, I have some board and committee appointments that I would like for you to consider. The first is the Local Emergency Planning Committee. The following names have been referred to you and supported by the Emergency Services Director, Brian LeCates, again for your consideration. The first will be the appointment of the following individuals. Mr. Michael Copeland, who's the Emergency Preparedness Manager for the University of Maryland Medical System Shore Regional Health. Would you like to do them individually or as a group?
I'd say as a group.
I think we can do them as a group.
Yeah.
As a group, okay. And the second one for appointment would be Mr. Rich Taylor. He is representing the Talbot County Health Department. He is the Public Emergency Health Planner. The next is Sarah Jane Kershaw. She is the Program Manager on the Eastern Shore for the American Red Cross Disaster Program. Mr. Robert Bonner is the Community Emergency Response Team Citizen Representative, or would be. Mr. Mike Carl Owens is Talbot County Public Schools Security Coordinator. Ms. Sarah Kilman, Communications Manager for Talbot County. And Marilyn Heyman from the State Highway Administration, asking for your consideration for the appointment of these individuals to the Local Emergency Planning Committee.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you, Council. And then we have a group of individuals that Director LaCates is asking for your consideration for reappointment. That would be Dana Menser, Fuel Oil, Nick Greenhawk, Utilities, Assistant Superintendent of Operations for Eastern Utilities, Matthew Spence, Media, WCEI, Dr. Sharon Pepakayi, Talbot County Public Schools, Micah Reesher, Easton Airport, and Sheriff Joe Gamble, representing law enforcement. And that would be for reappointment to the Local Emergency Planning Committee.
Make a
Motion to
motion.
approve.
And a second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you, Council. And then finally, for the Weed Committee, we're requesting the reappointment of Michael Weaver and Lloyd Paulman to serve on the Weed Control Committee.
Uh-huh.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Thank you, Council. That completes the committee appointments for this week. I do have an announcement that I would like to share. Goldsboro Neck Road will be closed to through traffic between Villa Road and Glebe Road beginning on or about April 18th for an estimated 3 months, or on or about November 17th for reopening. The closure is necessary to complete utility relocation, culvert replacement, and road widening improvements near the intersection of Goldsboro Neck Road and Villa Road. The detour will be in place through Mistletoe Drive. A map and information will be available and updated on the county website, which is talbotcountymd.gov. So we're excited to get this work underway, and Ray Clark is here. He'll be overseeing that job, and we hope to get it done as quickly, as efficiently as we can. That completes your county manager report. I couldn't draw it out for another 18 minutes, sorry.
Okay. Do we want to maybe give just a 3-minute on the hospital? You know, is there any news on the hospital? Obviously, everybody sees it going up.
Well, so,
yeah.
Sure, Council, we, meaning the county, has been a part of an executive project team that the hospitals pulled together for this exciting project, the building of the new medical center in the northern part of Easton. We attended a meeting just the other day, and they're making great progress, and things are on schedule. We obviously are involved in coordinating with them because of their proximity to the community center. So there will be, unfortunately, there will be a closing of the main entrance to the community center beginning on October 1st. They're finishing up a rear entrance to the community center that should be done in the next couple of weeks. That will become the main entrance for upwards of potentially 2 years, while the hospital completes their main entrance off of Route 50. Once that main entrance on Route 50 is completed, there will be an immediate spur into the community center, which will become the main entrance to the community center moving forward. They anticipate beginning the work on this intersection that they're building on Route 50 and the access to the hospital and the closure to the community center on October 1st. They're allowed to work between October 1st and I believe it's Memorial Day, and then the State Highway Administration will not allow them to work through the summer, not to impede summer traffic. So there will be a pause over the summer, and then they can resume operations, I believe, after October 1st. So if they're able to get the work done prior to Memorial Day, then the closure will only be to the community center for the shorter amount of time. If they're not able to, that closure will remain and they'll complete the work after October 1st. So, we're working closely with them. We'll keep, we'll keep you advised, the public advised of what we know. It's a healthy relationship. We're excited for the hospital, and it's moving right along.
That's great. No, I appreciate that. I thought it was really important that the public knows about that entrance to the community center. And
Yeah. We're not extremely happy about the closure to the front of the community center,
but there will be realistically 3 ways to get in the back, or at least 2 ways.
yes. So in the interim, there's one access off of Heiner's Lane
Yes.
into the back of the community center. The other will be the new entrance
Yes.
off of 662, and that will be the main entrance for the
Yes.
temporary closure of the front. And then, of course, when it's done, there'll be 3 accesses
Right.
and means of egress, being Heiner's Lane, the rear entrance that's being put in now, and then the new front entrance.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions or anything?
So the net of it is we gain another entrance.
Yes. Yep, exactly.
Excellent.
Yep. And paved.
And paved.
And paved, yeah. So, okay. All right, so, is there anything else on the agenda that we could?
I think you can jump down to item number 8
Okay,
and 9.
8 and 9, okay. All right. Madam Secretary?
Resolution number 368, a resolution to amend the Talbot County Comprehensive Water and Sewer Plan to reclassify and remap certain real property located at 4502 Old Trap Road, Trap, Maryland, shown on tax map 54 as parcel 302 from unprogrammed to W1S1 immediate priority status pursuant to an application filed by Brian Haas.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to remove from the table.
Second.
okay, we got a motion and a second to remove this off the table and put back on the table. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. So it's back.
Yes, it's back.
Okay.
Council, just to let you know, we did receive a request from the property owner, Mr. Brian Haas's attorney, to have this reintroduced by the county council or pre-tabled, or not re-tabled, I'm sorry, brought off the table.
Yep.
At this point, I'm Ray Clark, county engineer. One thing I just note on this is that we did go back. I think the council has some questions on this. We went back and got some answers on those questions. We requested a preliminary plan as to what they were proposing to do on the property. We are currently looking at roughly 11 lots that would be created on this light industrial park. In addition, kind of walk through kind of like a standard operating procedure as it relates to the towns and their applications. But technically what's going to end up happening is the town of Trapp has indicated it's only going to be for 1 EDU. However, at that point, it's probably going to have to go through its planning and zoning process, and then it'll be determined how many EDUs and whatnot will be allocated at that point in time. At this point, once it's kind of approved by you, it kind of falls into the environmental health department's office, where they actually have to confirm that there's enough sewer capacity for each EDU that's being proposed, and then that's usually signed off on the plat at that point in time. So, I'm here to answer any questions if you have any.
Just to add something really shortly, Bryce Yelton, Talbot County Planning and Zoning. We were included with the applicant's attorney in a meeting with Ray Clark as well on that proposed potential development build out for the site if it were to get sewer allocation. It's a little confusing just because of based on density. The property is about 37 acres total. A large portion of the right side of the property is fully wooded, and so there's about 27 or so acres that could potentially be developed and subdivided off for this. The applicant had proposed to do the 11 lots, I believe, or 12 lots with a shared lane for a lot of those. There are remaining development rights, but what we had heard from the attorney for the applicant was that it was based really on the availability of tenants to come into those lots and how they would be built out. So once the subdivision's proposed, if at anything, the proposal will have to go through the town of Trapp zoning requirements and go through their subdivision regulations.
Okay. Okay, council.
So the one EDU is essentially a placeholder for the time being, but that decision on how many EDUs are allocated are entirely up to TRAP or up to TRAP and environmental health?
Yes, sir.
the-
At this point, yes.
The county isn't part of that process after this stage.
I don't, unfortunately, when it comes to the common water sewer plant, I know with the council, when we've had county applications and there's an increase in the number of EDUs, we've always gone back and amended that resolution because we've identified the number of EDUs. In this situation, it's not, my understanding is they would not have to come back to the county for a common water sewer plant amendment. That we're currently providing, I guess, the mapping, which would be over the entire parcel at this point in time.
And as I understand it, they're proposing to do an industrial park at some time.
Correct.
Right next to the Rural Museum.
That's
Trap?
correct, yes. And again, I think it's 11, if I'm not mistaken, what was shown on their preliminary subdivision plan was 11 lots, 11 industrial potential lots.
And also what information was required or obtained regarding what water and sewer plant would service this property?
This would go into the existing wastewater treatment plant. My understanding, they have the capacity for the one EDU at this point in time. The town would have to allocate additional EDUs at that point in time.
And haven't there been issues about the compliance?
There have been
That-
in the past, yes.
And what was the last report about
I don't
whether
have
it's in
it.
compliance? We
I don't
don't
have
know.
an answer for you on that, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, any other questions for council or anything?
No,
Okay.
you know, since this is a business project that is gonna provide jobs for the community, property tax dollars for the county, I think sometimes we confuse business with residential, and I know, as TRAC, they've had issues as it relates to, probably you guys are referring to Lakeside,
Mhm.
but business is completely different. And so, for that reason, I'm ready to vote on it. I
Okay,
think they've given us the information that we need.
okay. Any other? Mr. Stepp, you good? I'm good. Okay. All right. Okay, at this time, we're ready to vote. Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Nay.
Ms. Milky?
Nay.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda, Madam Secretary.
Bill number 1618,
Mm-hmm.
a bill to amend chapter 190 zoning, subdivision, and land development of the Talbot County Code for purposes of providing that cannabis growing and the processing of cannabis grown on-site shall be permitted uses in agricultural conservation, AC, countryside preservation, CP, and western rural conservation, WRC zoning districts, providing that the processing of cannabis not grown on-site shall be permitted by special exception in the AC, CP, and WRC zoning districts, and providing that cannabis dispensaries shall be permitted by special exception in the limited industrial limited commercial LC, general commercial GC, and limited industrial LI zoning districts, each subject to certain conditions and defining terms associated therewith.
Council, thank you for
Yep.
sealing the Talbot County Planning and Zoning. This is again before you for a text amendment that's gonna change the county zoning regulations to permit certain dispensaries, growers, and all of these things that the state has essentially passed in the state legislature in terms of cannabis operations. So this is essentially before you in the form that the Planning Commission had originally dealt with back last year in December's meeting. And really, the only update that I have to provide tonight is a letter that was drafted and sent to the county council from the planning commission. At their last meeting, they discussed this cannabis legislation as it had not been before them since December of last year. And in their review, essentially, just to summarize the letter, they stated that based on the public comments that the council had received, were troubling to them in some way about reducing the potential setbacks for certain properties in Talbot County, and they've made two recommendations tonight. That if you were to hear an amendment to the bill that's presently before you, that any amendment be changed to separate the cannabis grower and processor if cannabis is grown on site in the land use table to only permit cannabis processing by special exception. And two, to change the minimum lot size for both processors and growers from 20 acres to 40 acres. I'm certainly here to answer any questions about the legislation that's proposed or any potential changes that the planning commission has proposed as well.
Thank you for that further consideration from the Planning Commission, and taking that into consideration. I'm offering an amendment that would address those two articulated concerns about separating the grower and processor, so that processor is only allowed by special exception, and also to change the minimum lot size for both growers and processors from 20 acres to 40 acres. That amendment is before you, and I'd like to introduce that.
Okay.
Do you want a show of hands for introducing the
Yep.
amendment?
Yep.
Introduced by Stepp and Lesher. Do you want to, do we vote first on that amendment before we go to further amendments?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Callahan?
No.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
No.
Ms. Hayes?
Abstain?
So it fails. You have a further amendment?
I would like to make a further amendment on the fly here if we could. So in the text, we have sections 26.18 A1 and 26.19 A1, the way that verbiage currently reads. In that, let me get to it here. Let's see. 2619, 2618, sorry, just get to it. It currently reads 500 feet from any lot line of a property containing a pre-existing residential use, unless consent to reduce the setback is obtained from all owners of residential properties within the 500-foot setback. In no event shall the setback reduce to less than 200 feet. That is the current verbiage for both sections. I'd like to see that changed to 500 feet from any lot line of a property containing a pre-existing residential use, and end that with a period right there, striking all the remaining language, which would allow for a 200-foot exception.
Any clarification, Mr. Thomas?
Yes, so just to be clear, Mr. Stepp, your amendment would be to change 2618A1 to say 500 feet from any lot line of a property containing a pre-existing residential or institutional use. So you would be striking unless consent to reduce the setback is obtained.
Yes.
And then you're consolidating items 1 and 2 together.
It doesn't necessarily need to be consolidated together, does it?
It doesn't, but it reads more concisely that way.
It just basically, I think that clarifies the language and just basically puts it at 500 feet. So,
And that would be for 2618A1 and 2619A1, which contain identical language.
Correct.
Regarding the setbacks.
correct.
Do you want a show of hands to introduce the amendment?
Sure.
Introduced by Stepp and Lesher. And again, this is stemming from that recommendation from that letter from the Planning Commission as well.
Exactly.
And being a substantive change, it's, it can be voted on this evening, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you going to call the vote?
Absolutely.
Mr. Callahan?
No.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
No.
Ms. Haith?
Abstain.
The motion is defeated.
All right. We're almost to,
So we now have the legislation, the underlying legislation to deal with.
okay.
And before we vote on that, I've got a question for Mr. Yelton too.
Mm-hmm.
Have we had, or would you have now, applications coming before you for, if somebody is going to put this in as a crop, do they need to come to you now? They certainly need to go to the state for a growing license. But since this is not mentioned in our code yet, do you have an opportunity to deal with this? And if so, how would you deal with it?
I think this might be a legal question for our Attorney Patrick here, but I believe if somebody wanted to, based on the fact that it would be a state license, we might have to hold it based on the pending information, based on the text amendment that's being proposed, just because it is being currently reviewed for text amendment. I'm not 100% certain how we would handle an incoming application, but I believe the state licenses also require you to have local approval as well, if I'm not correct, so I'm not 100% certain how to answer that.
Okay.
I believe Mr. Yelton is correct in that the state law, I believe, requires compliance with local zoning as well. So if the county were to take the position that cannabis does not fall under existing agricultural use, then it wouldn't be permitted as such under the zoning code. So without this, they wouldn't be able to go forward under that position.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. You want to call the vote on the legislation?
Sure.
Mr. Callahan?
No.
Mr. Stepp?
So can I ask a question here? So are we voting for the amendment 1?
Amendments 1 and 2 have failed, so this
Okay.
is to vote on the bill
The
as
underlying
introduced.
legislation.
As introduced.
Okay.
Mr. Stepp?
Abstain.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
No.
Ms. Haith?
I'm trying to find the actual original bill that was introduced. So I just need 1 second. Got to find it.
I think it's this one here.
Which one? No, that's the amended.
Is that the amendment one?
Yeah.
This is the amended that we have, correct?
Right.
Am I right?
It's just the amendment.
The blue is the amendment, yes, but the original is on your, it was in granite.
Granted, okay, okay. My apologies. Do we have a printout of it? I don't,
Mine's a little marked up, would you like it?
yeah, can I have that? Just 1 minute. I'm sorry. My apologies. Too many. So is this the original, keeping the minimum setback at 500?
The
Am I
bill as
reading that
introduced
correctly?
says that the setbacks for cannabis processing and cannabis growing are 500 feet from any lot line of a property containing a pre-existing residential use, unless consented to reduce the setbacks obtained from all owners of residential properties within that setback, but it can't be reduced any less than 200 feet.
Okay, and then in the original, it was minimum lot size of 20 acres, is that
That
right?
is correct.
And the amendment was for 40?
The
To
amendment
increase it
one
to
was to
40.
increase that
Okay.
to 40 acres.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm up to speed. All right, abstain.
Legislation is defeated.
Thank you, Grace.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Okay, do we want to go start the public hearing? Okay.
Bill number 1619, a bill to authorize Talbot County, Maryland, the county, to borrow not more than $7,018,942 in order to finance and refinance improvements to certain wastewater facilities and sanitary district facilities in the county, and to effect such borrowing by the issuance and sale of one or more series of its general obligation bonds payable from ad valorem taxes to be levied by the county, exempting the bonds from the provisions of sections 19-205 and 19-207 of the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland, authorizing the consolidation of separate series of bonds into one or more bonds, authorizing the refunding of such bonds and relating generally to the issuance and sale of such bonds for such purposes.
Council, real quickly, this is the project associated with Resolution 235, where we replaced the Royal Oak Pump Station as well extended sewer to the lots that were included in Resolution 235, which are along 33 as you're heading towards St. Michael's, and then just past St. Michael's, Rolls Range Road, Deepwater Point Road. It basically provided sewer out to those lots as well. So we're looking at roughly about 300 new connections that were associated with this. We've bid out the work right now. We currently have Schumer Incorporated doing work to connect properties, and we currently, I believe, have 90 properties that are connecting to this work that's been done. This is really to basically get our money from MDE, so,
Okay.
which is about $5 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Great.
All right, so I'll go ahead and open this up to the public hearing. If you want to come up, individuals, give 3 minutes, and if you're representing an organization, give you 5. So on this side here, on my left here, does anybody want to come up here and talk about Bill 1619? Okay. Anybody on this side, 1619? You sure? Okay. Okay. Nobody wants to come up and talk about 1619?
She wanted to get the sign-up sheet.
It's, this is eligible for vote, correct?
We
Or-
need a motion. If you close the hearing, we can have a motion to move it to third reader.
Okay, so at this time, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing.
I think she was checking the sheet,
Oh, she was, okay, I'm sorry.
sign-up.
Thank you.
And
Mhm.
I move that we take Bill 1619 to third reader.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and second to move to the third reader.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
We can read the legislation a
Yep.
third time.
Bill number 1619, a bill to authorize Talbot County, Maryland, the county to borrow not more than $7,018,942 in order to finance and refinance improvements to certain wastewater facilities and sanitary district facilities in the county.
I move that so much be considered a reading,
Okay,
if there's no objection.
there isn't.
No?
Okay.
And you can call the vote then.
Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. So I guess, I think we're down to, public comment.
Nobody has signed up to speak this evening.
Okay. Okay, you're flying through this. Okay, now we're doing,
No, you can still open the floor to public comment.
yeah, okay. Anybody welcome to come up and talk to us? Public comment. Yes, ma'am, come on up. Could you, so the people out actually can hear you, that would be fine, I appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah.
My name is Donna Albright. I have just a question on 1618, just clarification.
Yes,
So the amendment to change the setbacks from 500 to 200 is not passed, is that correct?
the whole thing didn't pass. You're welcome. Okay, any other questions? Okay.
On to
Council comments?
council comments?
Yes, sir. Yep. Mr. Stepp, you want to start us off? Any big news?
No big news.
Or no big news?
I'll,
Okay. Not a
I'll-
father
I'll-
or something, or?
I'll stick with the theme of, I'll stick with the theme of moving things along tonight.
Okay, okay.
Well, I think we find ourselves in an interesting position figuring out what the course forward is on regulating cannabis. The state has told us that we must do so, and we now don't have a plan. So I look forward to what council comes up with and
Okay.
appropriately dealing with this. On another note, the detaining of Pastor Fuentes, a local religious leader, by Immigration and Customs Enforcement has received considerable press attention lately. Pastor Fuentes, apparently accused of overstaying his visa, has been separated from his family, and in the latest word I've received, has been removed to a facility, an ICE facility in Louisiana. I've been reaching out to our congressman's office for assistance, and while his staff has replied promptly, at this point I have little news to share on that front. I'll continue to be inquiring about this and following this particular case.
Okay.
Just wanted to say that I'm pleased that we have passed the administrative resolution establishing the Senior Citizens Task Force and working for homeless seniors, and I look forward to being on the task force and leading this
Okay.
very well-needed problem.
Good, good job.
No comments.
No comment. Okay, I don't have any either, other than we're going to Mako tomorrow and work for you guys, and hopefully come back with some education on what's going on, the latest and greatest in the state. And we're going to be there for a few days, so we're going to be working for you, that's for sure.
The County Council's next meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 26th, beginning at 5 o'clock p.m. The council will be convening an open session at 3:30 p.m. and then adjourning into closed session as listed on the statement for closing that meeting. Therefore, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting and reconvene as noted?
So moved.
Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks a lot for coming, appreciate it.